So, good evening. So it's the early 90s. The entire world was different, just bear in mind that it was at that time. And I was working in a basement grotty nightclub called Risks in South Ann Street. And I was working there with my mate Oisín, and every Thursday night in the club was gay night. And one Thursday every month was leather night. And we had some problems with the local howies trying to get in on gay night, and very much so on leather night for some reason we won't go into. So we decided we were going to get an extra doorman. So we said, well, we know this guy Martin, he's a nice guy, we both knew him, we'll bring him in. So I ring him up, we make details, he's never been there before. I bring him in, we show him around, everybody's good to go. I never mentioned that Thursday night was gay night. Definitely forgot to mention that this particular night was leather night. And two of us were standing on the door, Oisín's at the stairs, and the first couple of guys arrive in. They're dressed fairly normally for the time, and they're carrying bags. And Martin's going to go, and what's with the bags? Now you have to bear in mind, in the early 90s, gay men in particular went as open. You know, we went as accepting of gay people back then. So they would be hiding from their family, for example, or from their employers or from their bishops, as it turned out in there. So, yes. Okay. So I was just about to explain to Martin why the lads were bringing bags into the club, because they would come in with their gear and change in there. It was a safe space version in the 90s. That's what we had a safe space for. They could come in there and get changed and get dirty. You know what I mean? So, just as I was about to explain this to Martin, in comes a very great friend of mine called Gary. The first time I was introduced to Gary from Oisín, he said, you know, Martin, Gary, Martin. And he came across the room, he swished a lot. And he came across the room and said, "Hello, darling. You're just gorgeous. I'm going to keep you." And I said, "Well, actually, Gary, I'm not gay." And he goes, "No, it's yes, darling." I was, yes. So, and he said, "Anyway, you can call me Etna." And I said, "Oh, you like to dress up?" And he said, "No, darling, it's like the volcano. Would you like to mount Etna?" And I said, no, thank you. And he says, there was some conversation about his eruptions and stuff, but we won't go into that. So anyway, there we are, the two guys. Gary swishes in the door. He's wearing a long black leather coat. He's wearing cowboy chaps, but no trousers. And he's wearing what I can only describe as kind of pink Speedos with a G-string in the back. So that when he took off his coat, and he did, his butt cheeks were exposed, and he would do this thing with me all the time. We were great friends, and he would come in with me and he would kiss me on this side of the cheek and kiss me here, while at the same time rubbing his hand up the inside of my leg. He would stop just short of the danglies, and he would say, "Have you turned yet, darling?" And I said, no, not this week. And he also had a rather large appendage in the Speedos. You can picture that. So I'd say, just move on. That thing is blocking up the entire hallway. And he walks in, he sees Oisín, he kisses Oisín on the lips because they were weird like that. And I look over at this guy Martin, and he is standing there. He's absolutely horrified. Right? He's literally backed himself up to the wall, which, as you know, is a standard defense against a gay person. And his mouth is going like goldfish, but no words are coming out. So after a minute, I say, are you okay? And he goes, "What is this place? Are these all queers?" And I went, "Okay, back off there, man. What's wrong with you?" He goes, I can't do the gay people thing." Well, I said, "Well, I recommend you don't sleep in any of them then, and definitely don't go into the toilets after midnight." So it's fine. He's not reacting very well. So my reaction, of course, is to break into every gay joke I ever heard and to try and relax him a little bit. You know, Oisín's not gay, but the guy he's bonking could be. And a gay person? No, I'd never eat a whole one and stuff like that. But then I realized he's actually very serious. And I kind of chat to him for a bit, and he says, he revealed to me at that point, now I'd known this guy, Oisin and myself had known for a while, and he revealed that as a teenager he was a boot boy, which basically was jeans rolled up and Doc Martens. And his favourite gang activity was to take the open top or open back buses, you know, the ones just a bar around Stephen's Green. And anytime they saw a gay man, they would jump off, beat the crap out of him. It was called gay bashing for you younger people here. Disgusting, horrible thing. So I'm quite taken aback, and he says, I'm really ashamed of it, and I just can't deal with it, and I'm so sorry, I'll just go home. Actually, I have a better idea. I heard you, so you'll just stand right there for the whole night. And welcome to the road to redemption. You can stay here for the night. If you need confession, there's plenty of priests downstairs. So, the night goes on, and as more and more people come in, it's all lads, you know, and we're having a bit of trouble with the Howies trying to get in as usual. And the more people come in, the more wild the costumes are. There's literally outfits there that would leave scars on your eyes. They were just, it was brilliant. They were fantastic people. They partied like you would put shame to the whole lot of us. Anyway, near the end of the night, Gary comes out with his conquest for the evening, and he's on his way home. And he would always stop and kiss me on the cheek and said, darling, don't be sad. This is just until you turn. And he would head off out the door. So a couple of minutes later, the guy he was with comes running in the door, screaming, Gary's been attacked, Gary's been attacked. So Martin, the other guy, runs out into the alleyway, but I can't leave because there's a few guys trying to get in. So I shout to the guy, get Oisin. So Oisin comes running up the stairs. I said, watch the door. I run out into the alleyway. When I go around the corner in the alleyway, I see Martin, who's quite tall. He's 6 foot odd, huge big guy. He's got Gary, who has taken off his coat for the fight, right? But hasn't done particularly well. And Martin's got him like this, under the arm. There are 2 guys lying on the ground. One is running away, and Martin is just giving the coup de grace to the last guy with a kick in the face, all while holding poor little Gary under his arm. My first thought is Gary got makeup on his arse? And the second thought is, this is a little bit gay. And Martin sweeps him up, proper gone with the wind, up into his arms, carries him back into the club, puts him down on the chairs and cleans up his face. He takes off his own coat, puts it over him, but that could be related to the giant penis being kind of sticking out. So I'm sitting there, I'm pretty amazed, and he said to me afterwards, you know, I felt like I should go to make up for the person I was in my youth. And I went, yes, you should have, and it's a little bit gay, if you don't mind me saying so, the way you dealt with everything. Maybe you should two get a room together. And so he never came back. But the amazing thing was, I said to him, look what you've had today. You've gone from homophobic gay basher to super gay savior in the space of one evening. Fair play to you. Thanks very much today.
Martin Hughes, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. Thank you very much, Martin. A great story and a bit of redemption definitely there. Thank you. Okay, let us go and say a few slips of paper before we're waiting for our judges.